All right, so we have all of these various types and specializations, but how do we actually compare the CPU performance differences between different types? We know some might have more CPU and more memory, but what do those cores actually equal in terms of actual performance? And so Azure Compute Units, also known as ACUs, are a way to compare CPU performance between different types and sizes of virtual machine. It's a Microsoft created performance benchmark. So they took one of their A series virtual machines and started it at 100 and then equate all your different other, instance types to that one. And so essentially you can say, look, a VM with an ACU of 200 has twice the performance of a VM with an ACU of 100. And a good way to really look at all of this is to go to the OS reference documentation for Windows virtual machines or Linux virtual machines, and Microsoft will actually list all of these out for you. And these are actually great sites, just from a deployment aspect and revision for the exam. Highly encourage you to check them out. And if we go to the Windows one here, what we'll see as this pops up is a section called Concepts in here. If we expand that out, you'll see VM types and sizes, but if you scroll a little bit further down in types and sizes, you'll see Azure Compute Units here. And if we expand this out, you can see here, the SKU families, A0, A1 to 4, and you can see here's the ACU number. So if we compare, say, anything in the A1 to 4, A5 to A7, these all got at 100. And if we go down to something, like a DS1, V2, the performance there is going to be 210. The other thing to note is this 2-to-1 ratio that you'll see on the V3s and the the DV3s and the EV3s, and this is because they are now hyper-threaded. So for example, a DV2 might give you 210 to 250 on the ACU number, but when you go up to the V3 you're actually getting less performance. So it's just something to keep in mind as you start to invest in your instance types in Azure. Definitely compare these so you know what you're actually getting. Don't just go by the pricing calculator if it's something that you're doing that depends on CPU.